and welcome to Steven University. This week we're going to take a quick look at some of the stuff we do know heading into the season of Steven Universe Future. So when we last talked about it, it was just a trailer that had released, and we didn't know much about it. We didn't have a release date, I don't think. Did we know there were 4 episodes coming at that point? Did that get announced after? It did, didn't it? So
I think it did. Yeah, we didn't know when they were airing. Yeah,
we had no idea. So we had a trailer that with no date on it, no nothing.
Yeah.
By the way, to clarify, I found out it was available for purchase, but the price was set to 0.
Ah, right.
So you had to have an account to purchase it, but it was set to 0. Someone told me after the podcast.
Right, okay.
So it was obviously an error.
Yeah.
That trailer then started airing, so a couple of days after we recorded, because we got on that really quick through coincidence. Remember, we were going to do a record date, and the day that dropped, we recorded it.
Changed.
A couple of days later, the press release came out, Steven Universe Future, coming. 4 episodes they announced originally were going to be airing on a special event.
Which I don't know, we've moaned about this before, but the 4 episodes messed us up a little bit. Just a little bit, though. Just a little bit. I just did some. Had to do some rejigging, but that's fine.
10 episodes through December.
10 episodes then fucked us, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. The funny thing about that, I've got everything on screen for you, Chris. I thought that'd help.
Yeah.
We're in the same room. We should establish this. We're in the same room. We've only just finished.
It always
recording
gives a weird
episode.
energy to the podcast when we're in the same room.
So
usually when we record, I like to masturbate.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus, we've thoroughly earned the not suitable for kids.
I want to be very clear that I'm joking. Only when we talk about
we'll never get jobs working for Cartoon Network, Chris. At this rate. So
better get employed anywhere. We carry on down this track. I'm absolutely joking. Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, he only masturbates every other podcast. Not everyone.
No, I'm joking.
That'd be ridiculous. If you read Raw, we do so many of them.
It's always nice when you take it further than I.
Because that takes the pressure off you.
Fault. Yeah. And now we're officially swimming in the waters of your fault.
Yeah.
That's a weird. Never using that phrase again.
Yeah, right. So what happened was, a couple of days later, they announced the first 4 episodes, and that trailer then aired on television, which is what they were obviously prepping it for.
Yeah.
Got a release on YouTube, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be corrected here, but I think the version that went out on TV had the date of the first 4 episodes.
Right.
Which is the plan, I think. So we ended up getting it a couple of days early because of a weird glitch on Google Play where it suddenly became purchasable.
It's on YouTube, wasn't it?
It was hinted at in the YouTube page. There was a thumbnail, but it wasn't viewable.
And then someone purchased it on Google Play.
Google Play, which is really strange. So they, Saturday the 7th of December, 4 episodes. We didn't have any titles or anything. We were like, cool. And then they announced the full schedule, which is 10 episodes across December, 4 on the first Saturday, which is the 7th. Then 2 episodes on the 14th, 2 episodes on the 21st, and 2 episodes on the 28th. We've also got 1-sentence descriptions for each of them. So, and then also a description for the whole show. So, haunted by the past and lost in the present, Stephen begins manifesting new uncontrollable powers that the crystal gems have never seen from him before. So what's interesting
Sounds like a season 6 to me.
So uncontrollable is the key word for me there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because we talked about that on the trailer breakdown, that it looked like he was kind of hulking out and not in control.
Yeah.
Because there was that shot of him looking mortified at his own hands, like, what have I done? So that fits with the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, does that tell us anything else really, other than that he's gaining new powers he can't control?
I like Haunted by the Past because it implies that we're going to get some. I mean, we know it from the trailer, but it's confirmation that we're going to get some threads that we were already aware of that aren't wrapped up.
Yeah, Jasper being
the big one.
Yeah, Jasper. I suppose Pink Pearl is technically from the past. 2 years in the past now.
You think the first 4, looking at them? Well, I'll let you. And by the way, I didn't like the way you read that. It wasn't in a I want it read in like a TV announcer voice.
Oh dear!
And it wasn't strong enough.
In what sense?
I'll see if I'm at a weirder angle than you, so I'll see if I can do it. Saturday, December 7th at 8 p.m. Little Homeschool.
Oh, I see.
Welcome to Little Homeschool, a place on Earth where gems from all over the universe can come learn how to live together peacefully. But there's one gem who refuses to attend.
Very good.
So do you think all 4... I don't know whether to read all 4 out.
We'll do them one at a time.
But do you think... But arcing question, do you think all 4 are going to be... Do you think it's a little mini-bomb? Do you think they're connected? No.
No, I don't.
Well, the theme of Little Homeschool runs throughout all of them. But I think it would be odd to only do a 10-episode limited series and have the first 4 be connected.
Yes.
Sounds. I think out of the two options, that and Cartoon Network pissing about with the schedule, option B is a little more likely based on historic evidence.
Yeah, I think Little Homeschool is about that gem we talked about, that rose quartz gem. And he's showing around. I mean, I was interested that the one gem who refuses to attend. I assumed she'd just woken up and he was taking her around. That one gem who refuses to attend element means that she's maybe been around for a little while and doesn't want to go, and he has to sort of convince her. Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah,
unless it's referring to Jasper.
I don't know whether it's a good idea or not to. Is it a good idea to have the first episode be the walk around the new world?
Yeah. Surely. That bit, yeah.
I'm just thinking of you and your recapping moans. From, we all remember your review of the movie.
Well, that wouldn't be recapping. We'd be learning about Little Homeworld, which we know so little about. That's the other frustration with the movie, not to go back to the last episode's topic. But I will say, getting to glimpse Little Homeworld but not really explore it was frustrating.
Yeah, I do like that we're starting with an episode called Little Homeschool.
A couple. Like, the second episode, Guidance, also airing on December 7th, I assume 8:15 p.m. Amethyst has been helping the little homeschool gems find jobs on the boardwalk, but Stephen isn't sure about her approach.
Ooh, little Stephen Amethyst clash.
Yeah, we've actually a little thing here, Chris. We potentially have a screenshot from this episode that leaked. Guidance. This. Oh no, that's the. There you go. Because this shot, and it'll be on screen for you now, is Stephen and Amethyst with one of the new gems from Little Homeworld in what looks like Fish Stew Pizza. Mm-hmm. So it's getting them jobs on Boardwalk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't know. I don't 100% know where this image came from. It was passed on to me as a leaked image. But there you go, a little screen grab potentially from that episode. So yeah, Stephen and Amethyst together. A good now that's a clever way of letting us know what these gems are like. If they've got to try and find each of them jobs, and it's an excuse for us to meet properly these gems that we keep seeing in the background now of little homeworld shots. But again, in the movie, we didn't get a chance to talk to any of them. And also, great. The one good thing, God, that sounds awful. One of the good things the movie did, in my opinion,
listen to him. Such a movie hater, isn't he?
You're a bad person, you know that. Was I loved that it basically put.
Did you love it?
No, I didn't know. I liked the movie. No, I loved it. I loved that the movie put the humans that got evacuated from Beach City went to Little Homeworld. Because what's great about that is you've created an instant reason for them not to be at loggerheads, because that's such a dull story to me.
Yeah,
I don't want to see Beach City Little Homeworld racism.
Yeah,
I don't want to see the people from Beach City moaning about them immigrants that are taking their land or whatever. Like, I don't want to hear anything about.
But why, out of interest, why not? Because you don't think it's an interesting story, or because you think Steven Universe should be escapism and not reflect some of the bullshit from real life?
I'm happy for Steven Universe to reflect some of the things that are happening in real life. I think that's fine. I think it does that. I think it does that with some of the messages it's had about the LGBTQ sort of community. So like, I don't think the show can be free of that. But that one is a little bit more on the nose.
Yeah.
The other stuff,
well,
social stuff it does is a bit more subtle. That would be a really direct parallel.
Also, like, gems have been. Excuse my language, but gems have been fucking shit up in Beach City
for a long time.
So
yeah, I just don't think it's that interesting a story. Yeah. I just don't think it's that interesting a story.
Yeah.
I think we don't want you here. Oh, but they can provide, they can help, they can do things. They're the same as you. Okay, cool. We've all learned. I just don't know what I'd get out of that. It'd be a bit on the nose for the show, for number one, because the show tends to do its social commentary very subtly.
Yeah.
It's usually an allegory for something, so it's like it's not an actual direct one-to-one ratio for you just sort of pick up on themes of what it's trying to say about our world through less direct messaging. So there's that. But then also, I just don't think it's that interesting a plot. So because the movie sets up this thing that all the people that had to evacuate Beach City found refuge in Little Homeworld and were obviously seen getting on with those gems and meeting and spending time with those gems. I think that's a wonderful idea to do that there, and then we don't have to worry about that at all. We already know the two communities get on at least to a point, which allows us to do immediately stories like this, where we've got one of those gems trying to work at Fish Stew Pizza, and I'm imagining cutting pizzas with her claw.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I'm guessing. Without
getting to too wide a topic when we're in the middle of 2 out of the 4 episodes. 8 p.m. seems a bit late, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought that.
No, that's a bit seriously, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I remember
all of them are at 8 p.m.
That's nuts to me. I remember being at an age where I assume I might have been watching this.
Yeah.
7 o'clock was, well, if we were lucky, we were able to watch EastEnders. But basically, 7, 8 p.m. was bedtime. Or maybe that was younger than this is aimed for. I don't know, but
yeah, that does seem a little late. I mean, I think the movie had at 7, but the movie was an hour and a half, so 2 hours would.
That's finishing at 9.
Yeah. Whereas the first one finishes at 9. Yeah, you're right.
That seems too late.
The subsequent episodes, obviously, there only being 2 parts, will finish at 7:30.
Yeah.
But 8. But I guess they hope to catch the littler kids on rerun, right? That's the idea. Is your first run audience those children? Do those children care about watching the episodes as soon as they are?
But I'm not sure it's up to the children. It's up to the parents, isn't it?
That's true.
Well, how old do we think Steven Universe is? What age do we think Steven Universe is aimed at?
That's a really good question. I don't know what the answer to that is.
Well, let's say 8, 9.
I think that's a little
So?
I think that's a little young, but but at 8, 9,
Well, Google what time should a 9-year-old be going to bed?
Right.
I mean, it's a weird thing to Google because you don't have a 9-year-old child. But
oh my god, I typed in what time should a and then it said 9-year-old go to bed. We're not okay. Children, Children typically go to bed between 7 and 9.
Unless Steven Universe is on.
Between 7 and 9.
Yeah,
that's the later end of it, and it's over the Christmas holidays where might not be school the next morning.
Do you think that's why they've put it over Christmas?
Maybe. Speculation, but yeah, sure.
Wow. I mean, let's be honest.
Admittedly, though,
kids have given up trying to work out when this show was on ages ago, but...
Yeah. I just wonder if the really little kids just end up catching these episodes usually on reruns anyway, and the people who want to watch it first run are probably...
I'd love to know, because we've never discussed it, and it's potentially a separate topic episode for, February or something, but...
yeah.
No, that wasn't
no, I know.
That wasn't grumbling.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
It wasn't setting ourselves up for a fool by having to do that first. Comment below with what age you think the show's aimed at. We've never actually discussed that.
No, I do think it's a wide range. I think that it's kind of almost an irrelevant question because it's yes, it covers stuff that it's done in a way that absolutely even the youngest children could watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
But you get more out of it, I think, the older you get.
Yeah.
And obviously 2 30-year-old men watch it. So
yeah.
I don't think anyone does.
I mean, to be fair, Dan, out of the two of us, you're the one that's been Googling when young children go to bed. So
yeah, that's in my search history now, not yours.
I know. Even if I searched it, it'd still be on your Wi-Fi.
If a 9-year-old kid goes missing in this area anytime soon, I'm going to be the first guy the police come to.
Especially if he goes missing at bedtime.
I was more going down the route of
really bad joke.
It'll be like, oh, I've acquired a 9-year-old recently. So I've had to Google when they go to bed. Right, anyway. So, little homeschooling guidance.
Not doing well for this. Is this what happens when we're together?
Yeah,
the
it's
content is just awful.
A mess, yeah. So, Rose...
We don't want any children to go missing, and obviously Dan's not going to steal a child.
Today.
Not with that range. 7 till 9.
Ridiculous.
Struggle to work
no,
out.
I'd get an older kid, one that could stay up and watch movies with me.
Wow. Wow. I thought that's what you had me for.
Once again, Chris set a below bar, and I somehow found a level below it.
Dan managed to get on his back and sneak going under the bar.
Yeah. Now this one's interesting. I've got a theory about this episode, Chris. This one's
okay.
Would you like me to do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, obviously.
Okay. Sorry. So this will also be on Saturday, the 7th of December at around 8:30 p.m. Rosebud. Stephen gets a surprise visit from some old friends and even a more surprising introduction to some new ones. I think I know what this episode is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know all of this. I think I know exactly what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that flag.
I think that, yeah, you know what, for once, I think I might actually, because I think I've got a pretty solid basis for this. So you remember from the trailer, we got the Famethyst, and then we got a shot of some pink doors opening and Rose coming forward. And I was speculating that was a flashback from the episode about Pink Pearl, right? I don't think so anymore. I think the Famethyst come back, and they go on an adventure back to the zoo. And remember, at the zoo, there are a bunch of bubbled rose quartzes, tons of them. He goes back to free them and the Zoomans. And one of them looks exactly like Rose.
I don't I don't think he goes back. I think the Amethyst visit, and they are protecting some of Rose. Well, as it says, Rose's buds.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah.
But either way, I think those two shots are in the same episode. And
Yeah.
I do think that shot of a rose figure coming through the pink doors, I now think that's an actual rose quartz gem that happens to look like our rose quartz. Like when she chose that form, she chose a form that looks like a lot of like it's a shape and a size and a facial.
Well, that would be fascinating. How much the rose quartz look like Rose, given that Pink Diamond chose Rose's form. So did she choose Rose's form to look like the other rose quartz, or
Yeah, was it an effective
what came
camouflage
first, the
or was
chicken
it...
or the rose?
Yeah, I'm on board. So I think that's what that might be about. So the old friends, I think, are the Amethyst, and the more surprising introduction to some new ones is the rose quartz is being released. And I don't think all of them are going to look exactly the same. I think one specifically will be very reminiscent of our rose. I think they're all going to look roughly similar. They're all going to be the same rough size and shape. But I think there's going to be some different. By the way,
I think he'll see her, and Stephen will be like, "You're a war criminal," and that's when he starts hulking out, and him hulking out will happen throughout the series. Well, that's a legit. Why are you laughing?
Oh, sorry.
That's that could be a legitimate theory.
What, you think he's going to yell, "You're a war criminal" at?
No, maybe not that, but the idea of that spurring anger and feelings, and him hulking out a little bit.
Sure, maybe not in that exact example because that was kind of.
Well, she was a war criminal. She was an arsehole. She left Spin out on a planet.
Yeah, but he knows he's her. That he knows when that Rose walks through the door, it'll bring back memories of his mother. But he's not gonna assume it's her.
No, but it might conjure up those feelings.
Sure, but he's not going to yell, "You're a war criminal" at some strange random gem.
That was clearly flippant.
Well, that's why I laughed at it, which is what you then, Chris, which is what you pulled me up for. I think there's a potentially a really really good episode in that, and I think of these four, that's the one I'm most excited for. I think that's the one with the most room for interesting stuff.
I'm probably most excited for Volleyball.
Yeah, I mean that. I to be honest, it's probably my second most exciting one, especially of this first bunch. So also on Saturday, 7th of December, at around I mentioned about 8:45. Volleyball. Stephen is determined to help Pink Diamond's original pearl heal her scar on her face.
A description that does not fit in any way with the title Volleyball.
No.
But there we go.
No. Oh, one last thing. Sorry, apologies. I've got to correct myself from the trailer episode. When I talked about the Amethyst, you referred to them as jaspers. And I said, no, they're all amethysts. One of them is a jasper.
Boom! That's what I meant.
And that's the one I labelled as carnelian. No, that one's a jasper.
Jesus.
The other ones are amethyst. The one at the bottom, the short one, is carnelian.
I remember chuckling to myself after and being like, "Carnelian, what a fool."
So the smaller one is carnelian. The taller, orangey one is a jasper. The other, sort of more purpley ones are amethysts.
Knew that.
Perfect. Corrected that. No one can
said
yell.
that with the confidence that Dan says he likes the movie with.
You're a bad person.
I love it. Love the movie. You guys can't see him sweat.
So what do we think? This has gone out of hand far too quickly. Right, so Stephen is determined to help Pink Diamond's original pearl heal the scar on her face. I mean, I don't think we've covered this because there's a clip of him dealing with her in the other one. So I don't have much more to say on this episode other than that I'm excited for it.
I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah. So then, Saturday, December the 14th at 8 p.m, Stephen questions the motives of the mysterious fusion that suddenly shows up at his house in an episode titled Bluebird.
I'm quite excited by that one.
Any theories? Oh, no, we know exactly who that is.
Is that
That would be the aquamarine.
The aquamarine.
Eyeball fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I had a moment there of just stupidity. So this is the episode that my theory was that she would show up all happy and friendly, but would have a plan to turn off the crystal heart. If you remember, that was my working theory on that.
That's
based
a lot
on the
to do in
trailer.
10 minutes, but then this show has done more in 10 minutes.
Yeah. But I'm very excited for the aquamarine eyeball fusion. Two gems that dislike Stephen. Two great tastes that taste great together.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the script. I like the idea as well of not that I want every episode to. It wouldn't even surprise me if they did, but every episode to start with Stephen being like, "Here we are in the future. It's finally great." Then there's a knock on the door. He's like, "For fuck's sake!" But
every episode of Steven Universe Future is like, Garnet, I hope it stays just like this. Yeah. Will it? no.
No.
And then
No.
knock on the door and it's something different. One week it's Jasper, like, you fucked up, like, ready to, like, take him out. And then the next week it's Aquamarine.
But I do like.
I would watch that show.
I like the idea of, he's getting some him time, and I like that there's a sense of calmness, maybe.
Yeah, and I actually quite like as well, and I think this is something that came from the documentary. Rebecca talking a lot about Stephen learning that he's never going to finish growing, and it's actually quite unhealthy to focus on this idea of happily ever after, because no one will ever. You don't get happily ever. You have to continue growing. You have to continue getting better. So, yeah, I think that's really, I don't think there's going to be much of. I think they've done that now in the movie, so I don't think in these episodes we're going to get a lot. To take it in a more serious tone for a second, I know we were joking about, but I don't think there's going to be much of Stephen going, "Stop messing with my happily ever after." I think it's going to be him going, "I have to keep working on this."
Which is why I think maybe there will be a running thread potentially of him hulking out, him getting angry, and him trying to work out what that is. Like, this episode could start with him at home, trying to figure that out.
I'm not as convinced by that.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not convinced by it. It's just
I think it's gonna come to the forefront potentially in the Jasper episode when we get to that. So there you go. So a very special episode. Now this is an interesting one. I don't have I wish I had it ready. And some of the stuff I should have had ready and I didn't. I guess I wasn't sure if we were going to get to it. But basically, this episode, we actually know when they recorded this because shortly after Change Your Mind aired, we had an Instagram post. Let me open this for you. I've got it here, Chris. This image, which is the voice actors for Stephen, Rainbow Quartz 2.0, Sunstone, and Pearl, Dee Dee Magno Hall, all in the recording session together. Oh, this happened. Cool. This was on, I think, Instagram, this post. And this was shortly after Change Your Mind aired, I believe.
Is Zach wearing an
amethyst
Christmas jumper?
Yeah, you better watch out. I'm telling you why. And I guess the bottom maybe says amethyst is coming to town. I don't know. That's amazing. That is yeah. I've never noticed that in this image before. But yeah, that in that picture, that is Alistair James and Shaniqua Shandy. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The voices respectively Rainbow Quartz 2.0 and Sunstone. So we know that actually gives us, that was posted January 30th. 2019. So we have a rough time frame of when they were recording these episodes, which is nearly a year ago.
That's crazy.
So that's nuts. So there you go. We didn't have this because we know specifically that those characters are in this episode. So we should read the title description for actually. I got ahead of myself.
That's what everyone's waiting for. But...
Yeah. So episode 6 airing at 8:15 on Saturday, December the 14th. Rainbow Quartz 2.0 promised to hang out with Onion the same day that Sunstone scheduled a home safety Geminar. How can Stephen be in 2 places and 2 fusions at once? They should have me on television. Get me as the continuity announcer.
You've been trying for 10 years, Dan. It's not going to happen. Why? Why is it called a very special episode?
I don't know.
Because that's like an American thing for like an episode that deals like with drugs or tells you not to drink and drive. And
well, I think one of the most famous was obviously the Different Strokes one, which dealt with a predator. Like it's a really, really, it comes with connotations, that title, for sure. And the description
interesting that you went there. Check his Google history, guys.
Yeah, he may have recently been Googling when 9-year-olds are supposed to go to bed as if he's acquired one. Because the description once again,
or that you've been a father for 9 years and not given a shit until until they were age 9, and you were like, wait, what?
Also punishable.
Why should you be going to bed?
Also probably child abuse. I don't send them to bed. I just keep them up. Now I'm finally Googling it. So the opposite problem of Volleyball, which is that like that sounds like it's going to be a really deep episode. In the description, but the title is a bit vague and a bit silly and flippant. The opposite problem here, which a very special episode invokes, particularly like images of maybe it being a more serious one, yet the description is like it's like a sitcom premise. I'm going to I've got 2 dates to the prom. And what am I going to do?
And it's a great episode of Boy Meets World.
Is that an actual Boy Meets World episode?
Yeah, and in the Boy Meets World episode, they used the Flintstones episode as like the whole plot of the episode is let's do what Fred and Barney did.
Wonderful.
He's either got to go to a boxing match or to prom. Ends with Cory and Topanga slow dancing in the prom wear in the middle of the boxing ring. It's a nice moment.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
I think it had like a boxer or a wrestler
I don't even
in
know
it.
which characters are which.
Oh, fine. No, well, you don't care. That's fine.
Yeah. Very quickly, I should mention, if I've mentioned any pictures so far in this episode, and you're going, what pictures? I can't see the pictures. If you're listening on audio, we do put the pictures into the video version, which is on the YouTube channel. Yep. I think I've forgotten to say that this time because we've recorded two next to each other, and I made it clear in the first one, and my brain has gone, you've done that, you don't have to do it again. Let me re-establish. Any pictures I've discussed in this episode, you can see by looking at the video version, youtube.com/nothingbutstatic UK. Carry on, Chris.
The show has been known to give titles that actually
correct
don't quite match and make it seem
a bit misleading. In that sense.
A bit misleading.
100%.
So this could be that, although it's really specific, so it would be hard to imagine it's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there we go.
So there we go. Let's have a look at the next one. So on Saturday, December 21st at 8 p.m, Snow Day, Stephen and the Crystal Gems get a chance to catch up when they're all snowed in together. I don't have much to say on this one. The descriptions get a bit thinner as it goes on. The first few are a bit more, give a bit more away. This one, it's just vague, isn't it? It's just, I like the idea that we're going to have an episode focusing on Stephen and the core Crystal Gems, though. I think that's the main thing that's exciting me about this particular episode and the setup for it. After all these episodes with new gems and Stephen in Little Homeworld and all that stuff, and obviously, Pearl, Garnet, and Amethyst are going to play into those episodes, but maybe not all together. So the idea that we're going to get to see the core guys get back together and have an episode where we take stock of where we're at is a really exciting idea.
I'm just trying to see who the wrestler was in that episode of Boy Meets World.
Sure, definitely worth your time. But for anyone wondering why I talked for so long, then is Chris is so clearly looking at his phone because I can see him because I'm in the same room. I didn't pause to give him. I could have really fucked him up and just gone and then let him have to juggle talking and googling who the wrestler in Boy Meets World was.
Leon White
Does not ring a bell.
Oh well. I'm
worth it.
So
what do you think about Snow Day, Chris?
I'm very pumped for this episode. Regular listeners of this podcast and MBS will know that characters forced to hang out in a room together is some of my favourite type of show episodes to watch. I always think bottle episodes are great. I always think it just always fascinates me what stories you can tell in one room. So I always like that as a concept. And yeah, I think that sounds great.
I'm on board as well, yeah. And I also an episode called Snow Day airing on December 21st. Give me that.
Yeah,
Give
nice.
me that.
Yeah.
That is nice. Then episode 8, Why So Blue, presumably airing at about 8:15 on Saturday the 21st of December. Stephen has heard rumours of a pair of gems that are destroying worlds. If he can't stop them, maybe Lapis can. I love this idea. I don't know who the gems are, but so the game Unleash the Light has established that basically what Stephen has done is he's freed all the planets, but that means that the gems are free to do what they want. So the colonies can run themselves now and do whatever they like. But of course, the downside to that, and I like the idea that we might explore this, is some of them may choose to continue being oppressive in some way. And it's that because we've always talked about what's the threat? What's the threat once you've done White Diamond? What's the threat now?
I don't like that as an impression for either of us.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, just people in general been asking that, so I was kind of doing an overall people questioning things voice. It's like, what? And it's a good question, though. It is a good question. Where do you go once you've done White Diamond? And this is actually, to me, the game Unleash the Light, that hint that he freed all these planets, but of course, by freeing them, they can do what they like. Yeah. Some of them may choose to live exactly as Stephen is envisioning, peacefully, but some of them may choose to do the opposite, and that's the good with the bad. Free will leads to people being able to do whatever they like, and that means that if there are bad people out there, are people out there with and how does Stephen deal with that? So the idea that there are two gems out there destroying worlds, and that he's going to have to realize that by freeing everyone, he's maybe left it's kind of almost his fault. They were under the rule of the diamonds where they were being controlled, and now they're loose and doing whatever they like. The consequences of that freedom and coming across that, and then having to take him and the idea of him and Lapis going out to deal with that is very exciting.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And I'm assuming the pair of gems are also Lapis's, because we have in that shot the villain shot from the trailer. There were 2 lapises. So he's heard rumors of a pair of gems destroying worlds.
Got to be. And
the reason he would bring Lapis along.
But I just love the notion of us getting to explore Lapis through other Lapises.
Yes.
I think that sounds fascinating.
Yes, 100%.
And because I really didn't want, is Lapis going to run away again? Again. Like, we've done that plot. So I love the idea that we're still exploring. And there's not, based on these descriptions, there's not a lot of hints of some Peridot and Bismuth, but hopefully we get those guys too. But to know that we are going to get some Lapis stuff really excites me.
Yeah, 100%. Now, the next 2 interest me, and I'm going to talk about these 2 together, if that's okay. So I'll read the descriptions very quickly, because these 2 obviously run one from the other. So this will be Saturday, December the 28th at 8 p.m., Episode 9, Little Graduation. Stephen and the Gems celebrate Little Homeschool's first graduating class. And Episode 10, Prickly-Pear. After leaving Little Homeschool, Stephen has found a new hobby, plants. Now, Prickly-Pear, I have very little to say. It's clearly going to be the episode where Stephen creates that cactus monster we saw in the intro. I think that's very straightforward and obvious what that's about. But what's interesting, actually, I suppose the hint there is after leaving Little Homeschool. So that means Stephen's in the class.
That sort of suggests that, yeah, which is weird.
So, but what's another thing to top that? This is another episode we've got a small leaked screenshot from. There's only 2 episodes we've got them from. That is a picture from the graduation episode, Little Graduation. And you can see clearly the off-colours with the graduating hats. Stephen does not have one, but he is speaking there. And it is blatantly the same stage they always use for Beachapalooza. It's the one stage they have in that town that they always seem to have set up on the beach. He isn't... Does that mean he's running the class then? And when they all graduate, he's got nothing left to do?
It feels like that, doesn't it?
That's what I've been thinking. And it is the off-colours all wearing graduating hats. Stephen doesn't seem to be wearing one. So what do you think?
I think that it's got to be. It sounds like he's the teacher there or something, which is an interesting framework for the series. But would suggest he'd have to at some point like ditch his teaching responsibilities and go off and fight monsters, or maybe he's just seen as someone really important with the school. But after leaving, does suggest some sort of graduation. It's really weird.
Yeah,
depends what they're teaching there. Are they teaching how to live on Earth? How to interact with humans? Or are they teaching the right way to be, that historic gem culture isn't necessarily right?
Yeah, maybe like teaching gems that they can do, they're free to do what they like now. They don't have to, teaching gems that it's not really acceptable to judge a gem based on being off color or I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But it's interesting, that's for sure. So that screenshot is it's another leaked image we managed to get. And we only got the 2. One was from Guidance, the other one was from this. Yeah, so I don't know. Stephen and the Gems celebrate Little Homeschool's first graduating class, and after leaving Little Homeschool, Stephen has found a new hobby plant. So we know he's going to fight in Prickly-Pear, that sort of cactus monster from the shot.
And it all depends on execution, and I know I'm being quite pessimistic by saying that this might be the last time we see Stephen, but it has been described as a limited series, so... If this is the last episode of anything related to Steven Universe, which I don't think it will be.
I don't think so either. Because noticed we've not come to any episode regarding Jasper here.
Yeah. But I mean, that's descriptions. We still could do.
Yeah, but I mean, we figured out the plots for most of these episodes, and there's genuinely almost no room for it.
Unless Jasper is connected to Pink Diamond or something like that. I don't know. I think that Jasper could fit into those easily.
Right.
If this is the last episode,
yes.
I don't think it will be, and I don't want it to be. I don't want it to end on him fighting a fucking cactus monster. I don't. Yeah.
No, I don't, and I don't think you'll be. I don't think you'll be disappointed there. I don't think that's what's going to happen. There's no way. There's got to be.
Because don't forget, Jasper could be encouraging Stephen to get angry, create a cactus monster, gives Jasper someone for her to team up with, something like that.
Yeah, possible. I just think there's still a fair bit of room for other stuff that's going on here. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about this being the end. My theory, I think, is they've got 20, 22, 24 episodes.
But why would you describe it as a limited series then?
Because it's one series, limited.
Right, okay.
Limit, yeah. Because yeah, there are a couple ways you can interpret limited series, but I took it as it's this one thing and then it's done. It's not so people aren't going, "Where's Steven Universe Future season 2?"
Yeah.
Like it's a limited one-off run and then it's done. And also, Cartoon Network, because the episodes are 10 minutes long, they very rarely commission less than 20 odd episodes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Unless it's like, in the style of you're right there.
Sorry.
Chris yawned and then did a weird like face where he like sort of pulled back.
Oh no, there was a slight like burp.
I didn't even hear that.
Okay,
There you go. So yeah, I mean, I suppose like okay, you know what? Maybe you're right. That could be it could be 10 because you look at shows like Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah, exactly. That
and
was
Infinity Train.
was my interpretation, but I want to be wrong.
Yeah, and I think I'm confident. Because I think either Jasper is in the first 4 episodes, or I don't think Jasper's showing up until. I don't see her fitting into any of the other stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, this stuff all looks really interesting. And
it looks great.
And I like that it's so we can already tell where some of these villains are showing up. We have a vague idea of how this is all going to be structured. I'm pretty excited to see Rainbow Quartz and Sunstone again. I'm excited to see almost all of these episodes. The only one that I'm a little bit like about is the Prickly-Pear. I'm just like, I don't want to see him fight a cactus monster, really.
Yeah, but that could so be
something much deeper. Yeah, 100%. The very last thing we should probably mention is the Pumpkin. Oh, Pumpkin. So I don't know if we've not had a chance to talk about this, but Pumpkin has now been confirmed to. Well, we'll play the clip. Oh, here we go. Oh, why does the clip not have sound? Oh no, Chris, we've had a technological failure. There we go. So for people not listen, who couldn't make that out in the laughter because someone's tried to boost the sound, but this is at the Animationist Film Festival happening in Los Angeles in October. Some of the people who work on the show were asked directly about Pumpkin because obviously Pumpkin had been notable by his absence in all of the promo material for Steven Universe Future, and the response was, "Pumpkins don't last forever."
Oh man!
Is there more? Did he say anything else? I need to check. I can't make out what anyone is saying in this clip. It's absolutely. I'm sure someone's translated what's actually said, but there you go.
That's a shame. That doesn't feel very Steven Universe to just not have the pumpkin in it.
Oh, we have the transcript. Someone was clever. All right, let me just bring this over to my screen so I can read it because I can't. My eyes cannot read it from the big screen. What should we tell them? And then he adds, "Pumpkins don't last forever." And then. Oh, I don't think. Oh, what? Where's the legendary death scene? I don't think I can say any more.
Yeah, I think if Pumpkin's gone, that gets addressed in the show.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem right that it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I'd agree. In what way? I mean, literally, who knows?
Was Pumpkin in the movie?
No.
No,
it was the 2-year skip, presumably. So that's.
Oh yeah. So maybe it doesn't get addressed.
Well, I there's a chance. We talked about. One of the reasons for Steven to bring life to his cactus patch was as just to maybe, cactuses are famously hardy plants that live for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe the idea being that because the last thing he gave sentience to was such a fickle life cycle. Pumpkins don't last very long. They don't last very long at all.
No.
If you've ever carved one at Halloween, it tends to mush within less than a week.
Yeah.
So. It makes sense, and a cactus obviously is famously like a thing that will live for just dozens and dozens of years. So, it kind of I wouldn't be surprised if Prickly-Pear started with him trying to make a cactus.
I hope it gets acknowledged some way.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it will. I don't feel like the team are like
it doesn't. Yeah,
it doesn't feel like them to skip it.
No, I completely agree with that.
So yeah, that's the episode title. Anything you want to add? Anything particularly you're excited about?
No, I think between that discussion and the last one on the trailer, we've said it all. I'm particularly excited about Snow Day. I'm particularly excited about the Lapis stuff.
Yes.
And I hope we get to the Jasper stuff, but I'm excited by the Pink Pearl stuff too.
Yeah. And I there's so much. I mean, I'm really excited for the Aquamarine fusion with Eyeball. I'm excited to discover more about these other gems. These gems we haven't met yet on Homeworld, a little Homeworld. I'm excited just to see the sort of state of play now. We can take a breather and actually explore the world we're now in.
It's funny. I think the world we're now in and those new gems and new fusions will be one of the most interesting bits, but it's not. It's not something I'm personally excited for. I'm most excited for resolution to previous stuff.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. So there you go.
There we go.
We've done it. We did it, Chris.
Yeah.
Two short episodes, 1 week in the build up to Steven Universe Future. Stick around next week. I think we can probably say that we're...
Yeah, I think we can be fairly confident on the first
4 episodes being covered pretty soon after they air.
Yeah, it will. Well, let's be upfront. The intention is to record to the Sunday after they air and to the Monday after they air. So bearing crisis with either of us, you should start seeing them on the Monday, hopefully. Yeah,
I would agree.
That's fair.
I hope the idea we would hope to release them as like a bomb. So episode 1. Little Homeworld would release our podcast reviewing it sort of on the Monday. Guidance would release on the Tuesday. Rosebuds would release on the Wednesday, and Volleyball on the Thursday.
Yeah,
but I think one of those days has a rewind review, so we might skip that day.
We'll skip the rewind review.
No. So we've got 4 episodes and a rewind review. Whatever day I've scheduled the rewind review to come out, these will come out around it. I think it's the Tuesday. So we'd have one on Monday, one on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Obviously, they're not out yet. We've not recorded them yet, but that's our intention.
That's the plan.
And we could do... I had an idea of something fun we could do, but we'll talk about that off air.
Oh, dear. That scares me. But anyway, thank you all for listening. We've had a blast.
Yeah, man. Had a good time.
Had a good time talking about Steven Universe.
Yeah.
It's fun times. I'm glad we got to this.
Yeah, me too.
People have been asking.
Yeah. Well, you now got whatever happens with, Christmas and schedules and getting them up, you're going to get a lot of Steven Universe content from us for the next few weeks, which is great.
Yeah, either way, we're covered. So thanks for listening, everyone. We love you.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like,
do all those things.
Review all those stuff. Patreon.com/nothingbutsstatic. Give us some money. Give us some money. Give us
that'd be great. What great Christmas present that would be.
So what, to gain back our lost patrons?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We recently started putting content on Patreon and actually lost subscribers. As little as $1 a month.
Makes me laugh.
As little as $1 a month will get you access to all the stuff we put on there, which we've been putting the rewind reviews up about a week early each. Yeah. And I guess we can now reveal. Can we reveal what the Christmas episodes of rewind reviews are?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we cover
because they're definitely going up.
Yeah, because we've made them, we've recorded them. Yeah. We're covering The Snowman, the British 1982 animated classic that was Oscar nominated, and Gremlins. Have a guess who picked which.
Well, and I don't know if will the choice before that be? Yeah, it'll be known that it's Jumanji. Yeah, people know. Yeah, so it's RoboCop, Toy Story, Jumanji, The Snowman,
correct.
Gremlins.
Yeah, and they're all, not only are they all already recorded, they're all already edited and uploaded and basically scheduled to go out, including the Patreon episodes a week out of each one.
So you're definitely those are content.
Yeah, because it would be more work for me now to remove them. So they're definitely coming. So yeah, go subscribe. Give it as little as $1 a month.
Yeah, and remember, even if you're not able to do that, you can't afford it or whatever, just know that Dan really did like the movie. Just know that, okay?
That's not a leading statement at all.
He's not said off mic that he doesn't like it, so I assume he loved it. He genuinely hasn't.
You're the worst.
He genuinely hasn't said that.
So welcome. So thank you from the very last ever episode of Steven University.
Yeah. Next week I'll be replaced with a 9-year-old.
That hasn't got a consistent bedtime. Hey, I tell you what, bring an actual youngster on here. Oh man, that's such an old man. Bringing a kid on here, genuinely, actually, to talk about the show might be an interesting idea one day for a future episode. That'd be fun.
I don't know any kids old enough to.
No, I don't either.
I know a 7-year-old. Might be able to try and get him into Steven Universe.
There you go.
Christmas is coming up. Get him the box set. My friend will be like, "Are you trying to get my child on your podcast?" I'll be like, "Maybe,
maybe." This episode comes with a contract, a release form. Anyway, so thanks for listening. Come back next week before we talk about Steven Universe Future. It's nearly here, everyone. It's nearly here. We're days away. Enjoy.
Right.
So enjoy the episodes, and we'll speak to you once they're available.
Bye.
Goodbye. Oh, that's everything for... How do we end this one? I've been Dan Doolan.
I've been Chris Billingham.
That's been everything this week for Steven University. Is that how we end that show?
I think so.
Yeah. There you go. Done.
Bye.